What does the word resilience mean to you? I believe resilience is about our ability to deal with challenges in our lives effectively. It's our ability to learn and grow from difficult situations. I don't know if you remember those toys that were available in the 70s, the Weebles, the ones that had the egg bottom shape and the magnets in the bottom. Their catchphrase was the Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. I believe resilient human beings are like that. They might wobble, but they don't fall down. The University Hospitals America had a study that looked at the top 5 stresses in life. And the top 5 stresses in life are the loss of a loved one, relationship breakdown, major illness or injury, moving house, and job loss. Would you agree with me that adversity and stress is something that we all face in our lives? But how we deal with those challenges and how we deal with those stresses depends on how resilient we are as human beings and how quickly we can overcome those challenges. I believe resilience isn't about not facing challenges. In fact, if we don't experience pain, then it's really difficult to experience joy too. But it's about how, when we're in the middle of a storm, we learn not to wait for the storm to pass, but to learn how to dance in the rain. I'm Kath Wynne-Jones. I'm the Chief Officer of a health and social care organisation in Manchester. I'm a coach, a meditation teacher, and most importantly, I'm the mum to my beautiful daughter Emma, who's 14. And why do I believe resilience is important? Well, I believe resilience is important for your joy, and I believe that if you're joyful, that you have the ability to spread your joy and happiness into your communities, into your families, into your workplaces. Ultimately for me, I also believe that resilience is important for the future success and the future stability of our health and social care services. 1 in 4 people at any one time are suffering from a mental health condition. We've seen a 20% increase in attendances at A&E over the past 5 years. That's as a result of an increase in physical conditions, but it's also as a result of increasing mental health conditions and situations that are resulting in stress presentations in hospital. So why do I think that resilience is important, and why am I here talking to you about it today? As an executive coach, you would think that I had this sorted. Well, if you'd have been with me in November 2016, you would have found that I had this far from sorted. I was working really excessively. I was not looking after my health and well-being. I was suffering from mum guilt, which ultimately resulted in me having an emotional breakdown and having an impact on my physical health and resulting in me not being able to work for 3 months. But what that really positively did is gave me some strategies as to how I needed to look after my health and well-being and how I really needed to kind of fill my mind, my body and my spirit. And boy, did I really need that 6 months ago when my husband and I separated. We've been together 21 years. And I truly believe, had I not have developed those strategies of resilience 3 years ago, that I would probably have still been crying on the floor with a bottle of wine right now. What that also taught me through that experience is that while core resilience is really important, there are also 3 F's of resilience that are really important too. And those are the ideas that I want to share with you today. The 3 F's that I believe when you're in a stressful situation, you should put your focus and energy into. And they are, firstly, your feelings, secondly, your focus, and thirdly, your friendships. So what do I mean by your feelings? By your feelings, I mean focusing on what's going on inside of your body. I don't know how often you focus on what's going on inside of you and understanding your emotions. There's a lot of evidence by Dan Siegel now about actually if you name your emotion, you tame your emotion. You take the energy away from anything that is negative that is going on inside of you. So I believe it's really important you listen to your body, which is such an important source of information. Now, it might not come easy listening to what's going on in your body, and there's things that you can do to help you practice that. I believe meditation is a real key to enable you to tune into what your body's telling you. Now, meditation can take many forms. It could be meditation while you're walking. It could be following guided meditations. It could be focusing on your breath. But it's really about understanding what your body is telling you. It's also great for reducing stress and anxiety, for increasing your creativity, but most importantly, I believe it's a great age-reducing process too. Lewis, my meditation teacher, is about 65 and he looks about 40, so that was a perfect advocate of meditation for me. Meditation is also something that it's important that you have it when you need it. It's a bit like loo roll. When you need it, you need it. You don't want to be going looking for it. And meditation is the same. So I believe it's really important to have a core practice of meditation so it's there when you absolutely need it. The second F of resilience is your focus. So this is your thoughts, your tactics, and taking action. So your thoughts. If you're thinking positively, if you're focusing on gratitude and you're focusing on the future, you're going to be moving forward and leaving the past behind you. If you're in a negative mindset, then that's going to impact on the way that you feel. So I really believe it's important that you take note of what's going on in your thinking. Your tactics. This is what you can do to move your bad mood into a good mood. Now, this will be different for every single person. It might be dancing, it might be going to the cinema, it might be reading, it might be taking a bath, but it's important that you know what is the thing that will really move you from a bad mood into a good mood. And the third thing isn't just about knowing what it is that's going to put you in a good frame of mind, and it's not just about knowing that you need to think good thoughts, it's about actually taking action. So actually doing that thing and thinking positively about what you know will change your state. For me, I know I don't particularly love running, but I love the feeling at the end of it. And it's important that you know what that feeling is that you're going to get at the end of whatever it is that you've taken action to do. And the third thing is your friendships. Virginia Sabir has done a lot of research recently on the importance of hugs and the importance of hugs each day to help you survive or thrive. And her research has found that for having 4 hugs a day enables you to survive. 8 hugs a day maintains your well-being, and you need 12 hugs a day to enable you to thrive. So how many hugs have you had today? It's not just about who you're with physically, though that is really important. It's about the communities that you connect into. So, who are your communities? Your musical communities, your spiritual communities, the communities online that you connect into. Who are those people in those places that you go to that absolutely lift you up? And there might not be people that you actually know. Tony Robbins, if you looked at my Google history, would be the most famous person probably. He doesn't even know I exist, but he's certainly my best friend. So I've shared with you the 3 F's of resilience: your feelings, your focus, and your friendships. Now, it might not all come easily on day one to get all this stuff right, and it's a little bit like a baby learning to walk. They don't get it right straight away. They might use a fire engine to pull themselves around the house. They might use the furniture to pull them up on, but they never ever give up. And I believe our resilience is like that. We should never ever give up on our resilience and our happiness. We should treat ourselves with compassion. We should have faith, and we should have hope in our future and our abilities to live a joyful life. Not just for ourselves, but for our friends, for our families, for our communities, and ultimately to support the resilience of our public services too, which is really important to me. I believe resilience is a little bit like the Japanese art of kintsugi. In the Japanese art, when a piece of pottery breaks, they don't discard the pottery. They pick it back up and they thread it with gold. And the threading it with gold makes the pottery more beautiful. I believe as human beings, there will be times where we fall and we're shattered on the floor. But actually, every time we face adversity and we face challenges, we grow. And I believe each of the challenges that we face and we grow from represents the gold in that artwork. And as we form and we overcome challenges in our lives, we become more beautiful, resilient human beings. Thank you.